Okay, here we have Nick Pecoraro, one of our good swimmers in the group, doing freestyle, and this is the underwater portion of his video. And what we're going to see right away, right off the bat, is a little bit of issues with the kick. Okay, and that's kind of the foundation of the freestyle stroke, is a nice strong kick. We can kind of see right here when you're kicking from your knees mainly, okay? We want to really focus on kicking from your hips up here. So really focus on kicking on those hips. And you can see, as we go in slow motion, those legs are kind of always bent. They're straightening out a little bit on the kick, but for the most part, both your legs are kind of staying like this the entire time. Okay, you really got to make sure you're kind of using those muscles to keep those legs right on the surface, and you're straightening them out as you kick. So as you bring that leg up, you want to snap it down just as hard so that it straightens out in the water. Okay, so really make sure you work on that with your kick. Now, the other thing is when you breathe, okay? And that's kind of what's making your kick a little bit harder too, is when you breathe, you come up so far to the side that you actually have a little bit of a pause in your stroke and you're going a little bit deep. So really make sure you work on that head position, because you can see right here as we go in slow motion a little bit, you're lifting your head completely up out of the water here. So right here, I can't even see your head, which means you're coming up way too high. And if you can see it really well, your legs down here are kind of dropping a little bit in the water. So if you keep that head in the water a little bit more, excuse me, you're going to be a lot more stable coming in. And because you lift up your head so high, if you look at this arm right here, look how deep that's catching in the water, which is good, but it's almost too deep for you. You got to, if you're going to be pulling that deep, you have to be a really, really strong swimmer and build up a strong upper body for that. So just really try and focus on that head position, because you can see your head's kind of all over the place while you swim. A strong, sturdy head that's just looking forward is going to be a lot better than one that's moving all over the place. Okay? But Nick, you got a great kick. We see a nice, steady, constant stream of white bubbles coming up behind. That's a good thing that we want to see as a swim coach. There are just some nice, steady bubbles coming up behind from our swimmers. That means they're doing a good job of kicking hard and making sure that that's their driving force while they swim. But again, you can kind of see that that right arm is coming down really, really deep in the water when you pull. So try and shallow it up a bit and focus on reaching out more in the water instead of coming down and getting a really, really deep pull. Okay, it's going to kind of save you some energy, and it'll help you swim a lot faster as you go. But the other thing is, Nick, and I do believe you are a breaststroker, but you can kind of see a little bit, those feet aren't pointed at all. Okay, if your leg right here, this is how your foot looks. Okay, you got to really try and make sure you try and straighten that leg out as much as possible, point those toes as much as possible. And I know that's hard for a lot of breaststrokers to do, but if you kind of work on that a little bit in freestyler, it could make you into a very potent IM swimmer as well by doing backstroke and butterfly. But Nick, keep up the real hard work and just focus on these brief few things. You're going to see some big changes down the road. Okay, this is Nick Pecораro's above water video for freestyle, kind of give us a different look at his stroke. And we're going to see right away coming in is he's got a really, really choppy stroke, okay? And again, that's what that's from is not extending those legs out as much, okay, on your kick. You're keeping your body really compressed. And you can kind of see it right here. This is kind of typical for a lot of breaststrokers that get in the freestyle, is everything's really short. So you can see right here, this is how far your arms are extending out when they are fully extended, but also look how high this leg's coming up out of the water. Okay, so you're really shortening your body up to about this length at its fullest extension, when you can easily be straightening those legs out so that you're back here more, and if you extend those arms out more, you're here, instead of being here and here with your entry, okay? So you can kind of see the difference in body length. The longer you can lengthen out your body and swim and be efficient, the quicker you're going to be in the long run. Okay, so just really work on trying to stretch out your body. And also we can kind of see right here in slow motion, that right arm right over here is really, really short and choppy, and then that left arm is just kind of getting thrown over the top. Okay, so just really try and work on trying to slow down a little bit and control your body a little bit more. Okay, this is kind of what happens with a lot of short axis stroke swimmers, is freestyle and breaststroke swimmers and butterflyers. So they have a real hard time with these long axis strokes because they're not used to having to rotate those hips, and you can kind of see those hips aren't really rotating too much. You're pulling mainly with your shoulders up here and using those to get the twisting momentum that we need in swimming. So again, just really work on lengthening out that body and taking your time. If you rush this, that's what makes it hard. So just take some time during practice and just really work on nice long freestyle where you're stretching out your body the whole length that you can while being on your side. So doing some kicking on your side drills and some catch-up drills are really going to help you out in the long run. So Nick, keep up the hard work. We hope to see you again.